Is President Donald Trump treating Vladimir Putin with kid gloves because he has business interests in Russia? A number of media people and other people around the country and around the world have asked questions about Donald Trump's and the Trump organizations and the Trump administration's relationship with Russia in the wake of what Time magazine reports was the firing of Michael Flynn as National Security Advisor by President Trump. But some media people have dismissed how much Donald Trump knows about doing business in Russia, pointing only to the Miss America pageant. But CNN recently wrote an article looking at the number of business deals that Donald Trump had in Russia, and they were able to uncover the following. First, the 2013 Miss Universe pageant, which was in Moscow, then a sale to a Russian billionaire of a mansion that Donald Trump owned in Palm Beach for $95 million, then Trump Vodka, which only sold 8,000 cases when they thought they were going to sell 100,000, and finally another deal that, if it went through, would have resulted in the construction of a Trump International Hotel and Tower, kind of like what's in Chicago, but in Moscow. That didn't happen either, at least as far as we know. But I uncovered an article released in September 15th of 2008 by an organization called the Global Travel Industry News, about a speech that Donald Trump Jr. gave to a meeting called Cityscape USA's Bridging U.S. and the Emerging Real Estate Markets, during a conference, at this conference by that name, which was held in Manhattan sometime earlier. Now, in that year. Now, according to that speech, I'm going to read part of what Donald Trump Jr. said, but the overall meaning is that the Trump organization has considered Russia for the last 10 years as an emerging market and a place where they seek out different types of deals for their investments. This is what Donald Trump Jr. said during that conference. The emerging world in general attributes such brand premium in real estate that we are looking all over the place, primarily Russia. There are countries that have not been fully tapped by us, such as Thailand, Vietnam, and Argentina. We are currently looking at potential deals. Our interest is really everywhere because there's a lot of new money in the emerging markets which appeal to certain brands, where they're ego-driven or have the life jacket effect that we feel gives added value to our investment. Given what I've seen in Russia's real estate market as of late, relative to some of the emerging markets, the country seems to have a lot more natural strength, especially in the high-end sector, where people focus on price per square meter. In Russia, I really prefer Moscow over all cities in the world. Unlike other countries in the world, this country has 5 major cities where people would at least be happy being close to living in the metro. In Russia, if one has made money anywhere in the country, you would want your place in Moscow. And then he goes on to talk about the reported pitfalls of doing business in Russia during this same, and he says that this, what I'm about to repeat, during the same talk. After spending a half-dozen trips in Russia in the last 18 months, several buyers have been attracted to our projects there, plural, and everything associated therewith. But it's definitely not an issue of being able to find a deal, but an issue of, will I ever see my money back out of the deal, or can I actually trust the person I'm doing the deal with? As much as we want to take our business over here, Russia is just a different world. Though the legal structure in place is in place for what we have today, and even 99% is covered, that 1% not covered could be 100% covered over there, because it's a question of who knows who, whose brother is paying off who. It really is a scary place. And so he went on to talk about how politicians are interconnected with everything. And he said then that in terms of high-end product influx to the United States, Russians make up a pretty disproportionate cross-section of a lot of our assets, say in Dubai, and certainly with our project in Soho and anywhere in New York. We see a lot of money pouring in from Russia. There is indeed a lot of money coming for new builds and resale, reflecting a trend in the Russian economy and, of course, the weak dollar versus the ruble. I can go on, but you get the idea. Donald Trump tweeted on January 17th, and he said this. January 11th, of 2017, this year. This is what he tweeted. Russia has never tried to use leverage over me. I have nothing to do with Russia. No deals, no loans, no nothing. And that's in caps. But according to what Donald Trump Jr. said in 2008, the Trump organization appears to have great exposure in Russia. And there are a vast number of media accounts of Donald Trump and the Trump organization's relationships with oligarchs and other business deals in Russia. So much so that Donald Trump really has to explain to the American people exactly what's going on, not say he has nothing to do with it, because apparently something is there, and give us the truth. Because from one perspective, a person could assert with some strength that Donald Trump appears to be looking out more for his business interests than those of America. Stay tuned.